Hey, Fane here, and you know what? We haven't built anything for a while. I don't want to do the Kratos because I'm saving that for the Christmas break. So we're going to take a first look at the Scorpius Missile Tank. I've been using old 40k tank to fulfill this role in my army for a while. I feel like I need to do a new one. Actually, I don't think I've ever built a Heresy Rhino chassis, interestingly. So yeah, that's what we're going to do, I think. Let's check that over there. So this is the Scorpius. This is the standard sort of sprue, I guess, that you get with all tanks, just the top weapons options. Looks like the missile. Doesn't look too bad to build, does it? Little bits there. Yeah, it looks pretty straightforward. So yeah, I think this week's mission is going to be to build the Scorpius. Do I need to magnetize it anywhere is the question. Yeah, I might magnetize the weapon at the top. Let's see where we get to and we'll start building the chassis. But yeah, Scorpius, let's go. All right, that seemed to go together pretty well. However, my door is not quite right. That's annoying, isn't it? Okay, now look at that. Ding, 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 ding. Well, I might need to put a magnet in there to keep it shut. I want it to be able to open. So, yeah, that's really annoying. I don't know why that isn't showing properly. Well, on with the show. So, just a quick note, I remembered why the door was being a bit funny at the back. These little things that go in here, the little bits that hold it in place, you need to shave a bit off them. So just a note, if you're building a Rhino chassis from 30k or 40k, Heresy or 40k, just shave a little bit off the end of these. Otherwise, it's too long, and when you sort of close it together, it presses and bends the plastic. That's what happened with mine. I remembered too late. I was like, why is it doing that? Oh, fuck, I remember. So, unfortunately, I tried to chop it off and drill it and then put it back. In the end, I've just given up. I don't care. It's a Scorpius. If this was a Rhino, I would be absolutely fuming right now. But because it's a Scorpius and I'm never going to need to get in it, I've just glued it shut, whatever. So yeah, remember, just shave a little bit off. Yeah, that's what a little bit of knowledge does. Oh well. So we got to the point of putting the front on. Let me move that around a little bit. And I sort of stopped. I was gluing this on and I was like, aren't they going to cover the window with anything? Because you can just see inside to the nothingness. And let's be honest, who's going to paint inside of there? So, yeah, I'm a little bit perplexed by this. So I think what I'm going to do is get some of the metal grill stuff that I used on my Titan and just sort of put it inside here before I stick it on. So that's what we're going to do now. We're going to get some of that. Okay, here's the grill. So it's just a bit of like metal mesh stuff, but I just feel like it'll cover the window quite nicely. Let's see how it goes. There we go. So I've just there we go. So I've just put a bit of mesh inside. I mean, yeah, it's better than it was, right? Just a random window or a random gap into nothingness. So weird. I suppose I'd have had to spray through it to fill it in black, but put some mesh on. I think that looks cool. Right, we'll go with that. So just to add, we're at step 4 of the instructions, which are just here. And this is where we put this part on and the 2 top turrets and the lights. I'm going to put the lights on, that's fine. But the top 2 turrets and this part I'm going to leave for a little while I have a think of what to do. Because I might magnetize the turret on top so I can rotate it around and stuff. It might already have that system built in, you never know with GW. Sometimes they're amazing, sometimes they're terrible. So I'm going to build the turret first, I think, Weapons wise, I know it comes with a bolter and you can have another weapon, but it's a Scorpius. Like, usually you're hiding it behind a building, right? So probably just gonna glue the gun and the thing on and make life easy for myself on this occasion. If it was a Rhino, I'd probably be doing some magnetizing. But yeah, we'll see where we get to. But yeah, I'm going to pause at step 4 and have a good think. So I have sort of finished the chassis part. Put the doors on, put the exhaust vents on. I've not done anything here because I'm just leaving it. I think I'm probably going to magnetize the turret so that it sort of has a bit of a firmer sort of fit, if that makes sense. We'll get there in a minute. I really like this design touch here. This is the first, believe it or not, the first Rhino chassis I've built on my Heresy journey. And this is a really nice touch that if you just have the standard combi bolter, it's got one gun each side and it sort of fills the two turrets, the two pintles. And that's kind of nice. It looks nice, right? If you have the combi bolter and another weapon, you have like a double combi bolter on one side and the other weapon on the other side. So they're always both populated, regardless of your choice of weapon. Now, obviously, when I come to do Rhinos, which I'm contemplating changing my 40k ones for 30k, I'll probably magnetize some of these options, actually using some of the spare parts that I've got from this kit. But it's just a really nice design touch. So thumbs up to GW for that one. And actually, the kit itself, I have to say, apart from me making a mess of the door, has gone together really, really nicely so far with very little mess. And it's a very sort of clean looking model. So yeah, it's fun. I think I might have to buy another Scorpius though, just so I've got 2, right? Never have too many Oh God, plastic crack. No. All right, so I've got all the parts for the turret. Is it the Arcus turret or whatever the gun on top of the Scorpius is called? And I've realized that it's not like movable, posable. You sort of have to glue it in place or it's a bit loose. So what I'm going to try and do is when I've built each of these, I'm going to try and magnetize it either side to here, I think, so that I can sort of pose it up and down with the guns on magnets. It should hold them if I use big enough ones. So we'll see how that goes. And I'm definitely going to glue this in place because I'm not bothered about it being a Rhino. I'm going to buy some of those and I'm going to glue it here to here, magnetize it here to here rather, so that it feels firmer, stays in place when tipped, and it's sort of got a nice magnetic turn. So we'll do that and I'll sort of let you know how I did it when I figure it out myself. So I found a pretty straightforward way to do the magnets as I wanted on this guy. So I've just put some down and dirty sort of square magnets across the middle of here like this. And then I've drilled this very slightly. It's just inside, you know, it was already had a hole there. I've just widened it very slightly to get my magnets in. I think these are 3mm magnets. And then it just holds it in place there. So that's one, and that's the other one. So yeah, that's held in place. Obviously I can put it down, put it up, and it's got a nice bit of grip. Actually, it's not too bad at all. Hopefully that doesn't affect my ability to magnetize this to here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a piece of cardboard across the bottom of here and use it as a magnet base and have a circular magnet to hold that on there. So that's the next step. All right, so yeah, this is looking pretty good now. What I've done is I've put a little bit of cardboard under here. I've had to trim it so that it'll fit on the chassis. I've put a 10mm by 2mm magnet in the middle, super glued that on, and that's our base. I've then filled this with green stuff, put a magnet in it. Oh, it's slipping out. Which I'm going to leave on here to dry so that the magnet's in the right place and the green stuff's correct. And then once it's dried, I'm going to glue the magnet into there. You can see that this sort of fits here and rotates, and it's solid. And then obviously these fit in as before, or rather like that. So yeah, I know there's no real need to magnetize it, but I do like these to be able to have them whatever angle I want for the game. It just gives a bit of dynamism to the army, and I really like these to be quite firm and not just fall off in my box or, you know, get knocked off during the game. So that's why I've magnetized this bit on here as well. It's quite firm, so I'm going to leave this so that the green stuff dries in the right place. So we're just going to leave that like that to glue. So yeah, magnetized on the top. And obviously I can angle the weapons now as well. Lovely jubbly. Alright, that's it. The whirlwind is finished. I've left it overnight to dry. Green stuff's dried. I don't think I'm actually going to need to glue this in. It looks like the green stuff has held it in place pretty well. Maybe it'll come out at some point. I'll just super glue it in place. But otherwise it fits on there really nice. You can actually pick the whole tank up with it. So it's a really good fit. And as per yesterday, these just slot into here, and I've left the little sort of the ridges in here to fix it in, so that when you fix them in, they're in exactly the same position. So one whirlwind built, magnetized. We'll get it painted at some point. I've got another one on order, so I'm going to have to build another one, but I'll do it exactly the same way. And then it's time to get started on painting the contenter, I think. Although I think I might have a go at this Bane blade. Choices. Have a good week. Thank you for watching.